From Washington, this is VOA News. Hello, I'm Steve Miller. North Korea strongly criticized the UN Security Council's decision to impose tough new sanctions. Pyongyang warned the United States would experience the greatest pain for playing a leading role in the effort. U.S. Ambassador to the UN, Nikki Haley, said there was still a diplomatic resolution to the current situation.
We are not looking for war. The North Korean regime has not yet passed the point of no return. If it agrees to stop its nuclear program, it can reclaim its future. If it proves it can live in peace, the world will live in peace with it.
The UN Security Council unanimously stepped up sanctions against North Korea on Monday over the country's sixth nuclear test, imposing a ban on the country's textile exports and capping imports on crude oil. U.S. President Donald Trump hosted Malaysia's Prime Minister Najib Razak and praised his country's investment in the United States.
We're talking about trade, very large trade deals. We're working on one deal where between $10 and $20 billion worth of Boeing jets are going to be purchased. General Electric engines will be purchased, and many other things.
Trump also praised Najib's commitment to fighting terrorist groups like Islamic State and Al-Qaeda. Najib said the groups are the enemy of both the United States and Malaysia. Some Florida residents have started returning back to their homes. Florida Federal Emergency Management Chief Brock Long said it would take a long time for the state to recover, particularly the Keys, where a quarter of the homes were destroyed and 65% of the homes sustained major damage. Be sure to follow Voice of America on social media for stories, videos, and more. This is VOA News. Lisa Schlein has the latest on the humanitarian crisis facing Rohingya Muslim refugees in Bangladesh.
The International Organization for Migration reports the number of Rohingya refugees who have fled to Bangladesh to escape violence in Myanmar has risen to 370,000. The UN Refugee Agency calls it an incredibly grave situation. UNICEF Chief Child Protection Officer in Bangladesh, Jean Libby, says Rohingya camps are crowded with children who are in a fragile state. He says about 200,000 children, many at risk of waterborne diseases, are in urgent need of support. UNICEF is providing safe drinking water and basic sanitation. Other aid agencies are ramping up assistance. A UNHCR emergency airlift landed Tuesday in the Bangladesh capital Dhaka, carrying 91 tons of relief. Lisa Schlein for VOA News, Geneva.
Kenyan President Uhuru Kenyatta addressed Parliament on Tuesday as the country prepares for its second presidential election. Jill Craig explains from Nairobi.
More drama on the Kenyan election front as incumbent President Uhuru Kenyatta opened Parliament to an audience of ruling party members only. A few kilometers away from Parliament, in the Nairobi slum of Kibera, opposition leader Raila Odinga maintained his position that the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission must be fixed.
We are saying that we are not ready to go for an election with the IEBC as currently constituted.
On Monday, a member of parliament and a former senator were arrested on hate speech allegations. MP Moses Kuria allegedly encouraged a manhunt of opposition supporters, while Senator Johnson Muthama is accused of giving a defamatory speech aimed at Kenyatta. Both the ruling Jubilee Party and the opposition NASA coalition met with the Electoral Commission Tuesday. Jill Craig, VOA News, Nairobi.
Apple has rolled out its much-anticipated iPhone X. Robert Raffel has more.
Apple chief executive Tim Cook called it the biggest leap forward since the original iPhone. The phone features wireless charging, an infrared camera, and special hardware for facial recognition, which replaces fingerprint recognition. The home button found on previous iPhones is now gone, and users will tap the phone to wake it up. The phone ships on November 3rd and is priced at $999. Robert Raffel, VOA News.
Police in Barcelona said a false alarm about a suspicious van prompted the evacuation of the landmark Sagrada Familia Basilica and its surroundings Tuesday evening. A police spokesman said that a bomb squad was sent in to investigate but did not find any explosives. For in-depth coverage, please follow voanews.com. I'm Steve Miller.
That's the latest world news from VOA.